mom and I have a really weird relationship. I don't think she ever liked me. Even when Dad was still with us, she'd always keep me away from him, even though I was his favorite. Whenever she'd see me and Dad laughing together or watching a show together, she'd insert herself between us and banish me to my room. Mom and Dad fought a lot, until it got so bad that Dad left us. Dad tried to take me with him. He really did. He even tried to sneak into my room one night so I could go live with him at Granny's farm. But Mom won the lawsuit for my custody, and since then, she never let him see me again. It was when I got to college that things got really weird, even weirder than usual. I didn't notice it at first, but my mom had been dressing more and more like me. She started hanging out at the places I usually hung out at. I tried to shrug it off as coincidence. We do go to the same mall after all, and our town isn't so big that we wouldn't end up going to the same places at some point. But instead of it being one or two coincidences, I started seeing her more and more often. She started redecorating the house, and it was eerie when I saw that she'd made everything like my room. What's more is that her bedroom was an exact copy of mine. Again, I shrugged it off, not because I was still thinking it was a coincidence, but because I found everything way too weird to talk about. Why was my mom suddenly copying me? Sure, if you saw us together, you'd think she's probably my twin sister. She just looked a lot younger than her age. But she was way older than me, and watching your own mom dress and act exactly like you is pretty concerning. That was when I found out what was happening. I was cleaning out my room, trying to make it look different, so if any of my friends visited, they wouldn't freak out at what's happening to our house, when I ran into my mom in the garage. She was secretly typing on her phone, which was bedazzled in the same exact way as mine, and she was wearing my school uniform. She jumped when she saw me enter the room and tried to hide the phone, but it was too late. I'd already seen who she was texting. Is that my phone? No. Mom, why do you have my phone? And why in 7 hells are you wearing my school uniform? Give me my phone back. I snatched it away from her easily, and when I confirmed my suspicions, I didn't know what to say or how to feel about what I found out. My mom had texted my ex. I just said hello. It's nothing. He'll probably ignore it anyway, and I'll change out of these clothes. Keep them and burn them. I wished I could just as easily burn the image of what I saw from my mind. Why would she wear my clothes and text my ex? Stay away from my room, Mom. And she did. Until I saw her at a cafe with Megan. Megan was a friend I'd had for ages, but she'd never even met my mom. Why would she be hanging out with her so randomly? And why was my mom wearing that new shirt I just bought? I was already mad when I got to their table. Megan, why are you hanging out with my... Mom! What are you doing here? Megan, don't worry about her. That's just my mom. Don't talk to her. Mom, go away. Don't you see Megan and I are hanging out? Mom? Seriously? She had the nerve to call me Mom? What was more surprising is that Megan laughed along with her. What did she tell her? What was going on? It turned out Mom had been sneaking into my room at night. The moment I looked at my older messages, I knew she'd been stealing my phone and putting it back after she'd sent every friend and ex I had a text. She was pretending to be me when she talked to them, and what disturbed me the most was that she was flirting with the boys I used to date. She also invited every single one of them on a date. I decided I had to do something. I began hiding my phone, but my mom was tenacious like a bomb-sniffing dog. Every morning when I would check my messages, I would find out that she'd been able to find my phone. If she wasn't going to stop, I was going to find out what she was up to. I would read the messages she sent, and I would go to where she planned to meet my exes or friends, and I would record every single date she went on by going undercover. But eventually, she went on a date that made me lose my temper. I almost didn't recognize my boyfriend when he walked into the restaurant. With every step he took, I prayed to the heavens that it was just a massive coincidence. But no, he sat right in front of my mom. All cover was blown. I threw down the newspaper I was pretending to read and stomped all the way to my mom and boyfriend's table. "What in the flipping hell do you think you're doing with my boyfriend?" This time, my mom didn't even pretend to be me. "Your boyfriend? Sorry, sweetie, but Mike here is no longer into you. He prefers a more mature, more experienced lady. Don't you, Mike?" "I'm really sorry, Kat. It just happened. I really like your mom, and she's like you, except hotter. I'm sure you understand." I did not understand. But what I did understand was that I had had enough of my mom trying to steal my life. First, she tried to copy everything I did and wore. And then she stole my identity. Now she had stolen my boyfriend. Enough was enough, and I was going to get her back. When she got back home, I threatened to report her to the police. And what will you tell them? That you're jealous of your own mother? Mike's a kid. Nuh-uh. He turned 18 today. And you call yourself his girlfriend. You forgot it was his birthday. No wonder he left you. And sweetie, if you're going to threaten me, make sure you're not living under my roof. Mom threw me out. That was her first mistake. She should have locked me up. She should have taken my computer and phone, because now I was free, and the first people I went to were the police. Sure, she may have dodged a bullet with Mike, but what she didn't know was that I had filmed all the other dates she went to. But you'll never guess what happened. Nobody believed me. The police only laughed my accusations off, saying it was clearly me in the video. I even wrote a blog about the events that happened to me, and I posted on every social media I had. But people just laughed at how ridiculous my story was. People bullied me online, telling me I was making stuff up to get attention and calling me a clout chaser. They even told me I was a horrible person for using my mom and blaming her for something so far-fetched just so I could get likes and views. Needless to say, my revenge didn't go as planned. And all my friends and exes, even my boyfriend, who now was dating my mom, abandoned me. My mom even went on TV when the story got picked up by the media. I don't know why my daughter is doing this. I give her everything. I think she's acting out because her daddy left her. And ever since, she's hated me. For good measure, she made one solitary tear run down her cheek. I think Kat has some trauma, some abandonment issues. And that's why she's making up all these stories. Clearly you can all see that it's her in those videos. Why would I dress like a teenager? I was disgraced. I had to eventually gather all my stuff and leave our town for good. I tried, but my mother was more cunning, more evil than I could have ever predicted. It was no wonder Dad left her. With my tail tucked between my legs, I took a bus out of town. I had to start over elsewhere. I couldn't go another day living in a town where everybody saw me as a crazy villain. Years passed and my life went back to normal again. I had to quit college and work my way up from being homeless by getting part-time jobs as a waitress, a nanny, and a mascot at a fast food place. But with hard work and determination, I finally got my own place. From there, all I needed was my computer and time. I wrote about my thoughts. I wrote about my life and my experiences. For years, I practiced and practiced, and my blog slowly gained a loyal following. One day, I woke up to find my phone ringing. It was an unknown number, and, stranger still, it was a publishing company. I was still groggy when I checked my blog and saw that it had blown up. Several other publishing companies called me that day. They all wanted to give me a book deal. I said yes, of course. In mere months, I was a household name. I got a huge advance, and the royalties that came back to me made me rich. After everything I'd been through, I was finally catching a break. I finally closed the tumultuous chapter of my life. But, funnily enough, as I was relaxing at a hotel bar, enjoying my free time before I went to my book signing, I saw a couple of familiar people sitting at one of the tables. "Fancy seeing you here, Mother. Mike." My mother's eyes grew wide as saucers. Mike's jaw dropped to the floor. "You, Kat, is that really you?" "Yes, Mike, it's me." You look beautiful." "Thanks. You look the same." I walked out of there, and I heard my mom starting a fight with Mike, asking him why he said I looked beautiful. I heard they broke up a week later, and I found Mike at my doorstep begging for me to take him back. "Fat chance," I told him, and I had my guards remove him from the property. I learned I needed neither of them in my life. I made it on my own. I didn't even feel the need to get revenge anymore, 'cause the best revenge is living your best life.